There we go. So this will be the third episode, and we are jumping in with the sort of classic question of, do we remember where we were? Sort of question. Is it this one I'm using? Yeah, this one. Do you guys remember roughly where we were?
Yes, we were on the road for Stormfield.
Yes.
When you were showing us the amazing dungeon that we totally missed because we chickened out.
Yeah, and no, I'm not sure if you get to go to the just startup scene. So the Inquisitors were visiting this small village you were in, and then leaving for quite a bit, and that's when you took, I think, the day to solve a couple of things and saw how much evil that were upon the village itself. And you then decided that this might be too much for us to handle, and let's see if we can't man the villagers to fend for themselves and also get the inquisitors that were here previously. They've been traveling for a bit, and you're trying to either catch up or just see if you can, at least. So that's where we were kind of leaving off, with you leaving the village in its own despair. Anything else that we needed to kind of add to this little thing?
We got to break the villagers' heart with the knowledge that they were eating their own people.
Yeah, maybe didn't need to kind of break that news, but yeah, you did that too.
You know, big
Needed
on
to know.
honesty.
Mm-hmm. And you are now urging the steed to gallop away from the village. You have this sense of foreboding that settles like a heavy shroud. The once peaceful village, now overshadowed by the impending darkness, seemed to groan under the weight of its own despair. The air is thick with the unspoken dread, whispers of fear carried on the wind. The villagers, unable to withstand the mounting troubles that loom on the horizon, are left vulnerable to the encroaching threat. The travelers, you, can almost taste their desperation as you leave, their collective hope hanging by a fragile thread. And you, after a half hour or hour of travels with the single mount that you have, a steed, you break the idea of either we travel together um, for maybe 2 days total to catch up, or Beth had this idea of transforming herself into something. Or how do you break that idea?
Well, quick question.
Mm,
I only get to turn into an animal once a day, correct?
yes.
So I wouldn't be able to turn into the bird today since I already turned into a wolf earlier.
Yes.
So I guess my argument would be we should probably ride on. And then as soon as it becomes the next day, then maybe I can transform and ride ahead, or depending on how things go through the night, maybe we should stick together. Because I don't particularly know how the Inquisitors will react to somebody, changing from a bird in front of them.
Ebonheart's idea or thought with that?
No thoughts. Honestly, it's a way for one of us to get to them quicker, but it's risky. It's 50-50. It's a coin flip.
Of course, we then also have to ask ourselves, are they even going to be willing to turn back around? I mean, with 2 prisoners that they're transporting now, could be that they don't even feel like going back around. They might just head on to wherever it is they're going and then send somebody else. But I mean, I'm not sure how exactly this particular type of dark magic would weigh on them. Like, do we have any idea, like on a scale of evil magic, like how this would rate? Like, would this be something, of great concern for them? Do we think?
I mean, you haven't really watched what they did. It was all hearsay. You didn't really go in and check. But what they said, it was pretty serious. I mean, they turned people into beasts, essentially. Then again, you don't really know if it's completely true or if it's something else afoot.
Well, I guess I argue that we just push onwards, see how it goes during the night, and see how we feel, I guess, in the morning.
So a rest for you two. That's the.
Yes. I would think we wouldn't want to push the horse too hard, since it's carrying both of us at the time.
Mm-hmm. Then the downtime of studying. What would you want to do during the night?
I think I'm gonna bring out Mr. Nibbles again, and I want to try and work some more on my flesh crafting.
Mm-hmm. Then it's a roll straight up. There is nothing more. Well, that's good.
Heck yeah. Are you not?
And for you, Redix?
Oh, I can't add in the new numbers for that because the game is paused for me.
The new numbers, everything is fixed.
There we go.
I think it's automated.
No, it didn't. It was still showing the previous one.
All right.
Sorry.
So I'm thinking maybe a little workout routine. Maybe work on my strength.
Nice.
It's either that or agility. I'm
Yeah, the next one will be that you will get each time 5% plus your corresponding attribute, maybe, depending on what you're going to do. And then you're trying to just roll under, and if you don't, it will be added as a point and added as a point until you actually roll under with a D100. But the system as it is right now works at this. But the roll under with a D100 is fairer, I think. And it'll be simpler when it's on the character sheet.
What do I pick in the list? Because you can't pick anything that says attributes or strength or so on.
Yeah, it doesn't really matter. I've made all of them 100, so
Okay.
you can pick trait or have it as it is.
Okay, let's see how we do.
Yay.
Eh.
Yeah. So each of you, do you want to have any sort of waking, like observing the camp? What do you want to do with the camp? You want to sleep, both of you, or?
I think a watch would be a good idea.
The only issue with watch is we're gonna have to stay inactive for much longer.
True. I guess we could just hope that the horse would alert us if it heard anything. I mean, maybe Mr. Nibbles as well. Oh, I guess, actually, could I use Raise Undead and use them as a watch?
As it's, I don't think so. It says on the spell how long they are up. The low level one, I don't think are up that long.
All it says is that the spell is very destructive, as it will create an undead out of any fallen creature within range. The spell can only create a lower undead, and that they'll only have 1 HP in any hit location, but it doesn't actually give like a time limit on it.
No, it doesn't actually.
At least,
no, so you could make a undead. The problem is that you don't have a corpse.
out in the wild, I would think that there would be like mice corpses and stuff all around me. I mean, dirt is made up.
You could do an observation or try to find.
Yeah.
That's a bigger possibility. Yeah, for sure. The the likelihood of getting probably like a smaller rodent is fairly simple in the open woods. And roll for the raised dead then. So that succeeds as it's 4 under 10. So indeed, you do get the zombie-like a small mouse, forest mouse.
Then I guess I will tell it and Mr. Nibbles to alert us if anything comes nearby. Yeah. Excellent.
Sounds great. The two of you wake up without any sort of incident. The morning is fairly crisp. Do you have any bed rolls or anything like that?
I do, yes.
Apparently, that is yet another thing I did not get on my character sheet.
Something that you do want.
Yes, I will be picking up supplies at the next town that we are at, apparently.
Feeling very sore. The morning is here. So, what is the discussion? Where do you want to go? You have your horse. You have your undead little rodent and Nibbles.
Barring anything else, if we can still follow the tracks, then resume the same pace.
If you don't mind keeping my pack and Mr. Nibbles with you, I could change into a bird and try and fly ahead and see if I can get them to go back to the town, and then I can just wait for you on the road for you to catch up. I mean, do you still want to go to Stormfield if we manage to catch up to these guys?
I mean, it is where we're planning on going.
Okay, yeah. Well, if you don't mind watching Mr. Nibbles and stuff, I'll try and fly ahead, see if I can catch up to him and let him know what's going on back in the town. And then maybe I can catch a ride with them back to you, or I can just wait up there, depending on how they react. Would also probably make the horse travel faster, because, you know, wouldn't have to be hauling both of us.
If you're sure about it, then fly away.
Yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna do.
Right.
I see if I can fly ahead and catch up to him.
And you make sure that the backpack contains Nibbles and the zombie rodent.
Yeah. Or if he feels comfortable, he can always, you know, let the zombie rodent sit on her shoulder or whatever.
Is that something
In case
that
he needs it.
Ebonheart wants?
No, we're not gonna get that cozy.
Always good to have an extra pair of eyes.
But you set up to disguise. Fairly early, it is something that you realize the canopy of the trees are so high up, shielding a lot of sight. But when you do get up, there are some very strange lands ahead. This is the lands that no one really been into or have drawn maps that much. It's the first time that you've heard of a city town that is called Stormfield that lies further ahead. It was said it took over a week to go there, but with a horse, definitely just a couple of days. And as you start to get more altitude and get higher up, you see that in the far distance, the whole thickness of the forest has started to erode and further to like northeast maybe, like straight ahead to the right. It's more just wasteland, like the empty, desolate, and almost as if it were like rocks and yellow sand, as if the green pastures and the forest just didn't get any sort of nutrition or whatever it might have been and just fell short. And the outer forest seems to be very sharp, the kind of like transition between the two different like biomes, making it really weird looking so high up that something that is just an endless vast land of sand and desert and big rocks like extruding very high up, making it fairly difficult to get an overview of it. But you definitely see a grander city further away in the same sort of direction you're going. And after a little bit of flight, you see that the road ahead has been disturbed. A very large pine tree has been probably struck either by some very strong force or lightning or something, but is now laying over the forest and or the road, and it's been doing so for quite a while. So traveling ahead will be difficult. What will you do from here?
Do I can I tell if that tree is waylaid the Inquisitors any?
You
Like, are
can
they?
try to swoop down to observe and kind of look at the place a little bit better if you want to.
Yeah,
For
yeah.
sure.
I'll swoop down, try and get a better look, see if they are still there or not.
So down to where the tree has been kind of cutting off the road, getting closer, you definitely see it's done with a very strong force. You see that the whole tree trunk is all over the road. And it's been there for quite a while too. It's not like just recent. And you see that there are tracks. You're not really sure if it's the tracks specifically done by the Inquisitors. They had a cart and they were a lot of riders, but a lot of tracks are kind of off the road to the right and into the forest somewhere. And later, further, been picked up on the road again. So it seems like they found a way to just make a alternative route around the tree itself. But it's quite far in, and maybe it's the only way they could kind of go until they actually went back to the road. Sort of like there isn't just an easy path to just round it and then go up. There needs to be like better traversable way to do it. So further into the forest quite a bit. Maybe a detour for, let's say, 10 minutes, because you don't really want to race through there.
Yeah. Well, since it looks like they've already continued on, I'll just go on ahead. See if I can continue their tracks. The cart's tracks.
And as you do, you are seeing them, and you're probably gonna get there. It's something we could probably. How fast is a European swallowfly? Isn't that the joke?
How fast is the swallow?
Is it a European or is it an African or what
African?
Is it? Yeah.
A coconut laden swallow. Thankfully, I do not have the coconut.
You average around 25 miles per hour as a raven. And the horse does what?
I'm not really sure, but the fact that it's a big group, including a cart, I would think would slow them down somewhat.
Horse and cart. A trot. I don't know what a trot is.
It would be one of the faster paces, but I mean, you wouldn't be able to keep that up for very long.
Oh, here, at a walk, a horse-drawn carriage will go about 2 to 4 miles per hour. And it would then be safe to assume that it would do like double it if it's not on a cart, like about 6 or what, if you're just riding it.
Probably, yeah. At a walk, yeah.
Meaning you will probably be able to get there. The advantage they have range wise, you could probably do, let's say, 2 for ease. You're 10 times faster than them. And that would mean if they have traveled a certain, maybe around a half hour ahead of you, you would say?
Yeah, probably would depend on on when they woke up, how long it took them to get ready, saddle up the other horses, put everything on the cart, get the horses hooked to the cart.
Mm-hmm. And this is you realizing that they don't sleep at all. They ride through the night.
Their horses are going to be exhausted.
Yeah, the thing is that they don't have normal horses.
So basically you want to steal one of their horses. Okay.
Yeah. but nonetheless, it'll take you probably like a half hour or a little bit more. So it's not like they are far away due to the
Yeah,
fact you are so much faster on flight.
yeah.
And you can do 100 miles in a day.
Wicked. Heck yeah.
Mhm.
I'm gonna zoom ahead. I want to try and catch up to them as quickly as I can, and preferably I'd like to get a little bit ahead of them so that I can change back into human before they
A
reach
trained
me.
raven's top record speed is around 48 miles per hour.
Holy shit.
Yeah, so they can be fast. So definitely, I would say that you are still within the half hour. Then you land before them so that they don't see what you do. You're unsure if they even care, but why take the chance?
Exactly.
So you land in like a straight way of the road, and they are coming off like a bend, a curve, so they won't really see you at all from a distance even. And as you see them coming from the bend, the curve, they are not moving that quickly, but at a normal sort of riding pace with the cart.
Yeah, as soon as I know that they can actually see me, I immediately try and wave them down. Get out in the middle of the road, wave my arms around, looking like an idiot.
And you remembered roughly the sort of composition. There were 7 of them. And one of them in the front picks up a little bit of a pace so that it will be closer. And as you remembered, the inquisitors by nature, or them at least, has these darker leather masks. And now when it's a little bit earlier or mid-morning or whatever it could be, the light shines upon them a little bit better. You definitely see this sort of strange, twisted facial mask that they have. All of them wear similar ones, but not too different from each other, so it won't be like the same. It looks almost as if they were glued on to their face. They have a lot of structure to whatever it is. And underneath the mask, you see the dull eyes that kind of looks not as being blind, but very gray anyway. With the hand gripping the horse, and you sense a sort of curiosity now that you have thought about it. You kind of thought about the horses and traveling and doing it through and through. The horse's eyes are not as dark and rich with life. They are as dull gray as the eyes of them. You sense that this is probably a sort of witchcraft or something that is a branch of your own school, kind of necromancy, because you sense the almost undead nature from them.
Interesting.
So as it kind of approaches, doing this almost running into you, but making this sort of turn to the other side, or kind of make a arc with the horse, and the horse is like more unsettling not being controlled as easily, probably due to the fact something is wrong, you know. So it's frustrating, and moves with the hooves more, and you know, when the rider has to make a lot of passes in order to just make it calm down or stay at the same spot. And with the same sort of just no motion or sense, the words that were spoken to Ebonheart earlier yesterday or so, the Inquisitor says the same sort of or word, just speak.
I'm sorry to bother you. The village you just left, it's come under attack by very dark magic, possibly demons. The villagers have been disappearing, and apparently some sort of priestess has been changing them into beasts. They desperately need help. Whatever it was extremely unnatural. Like, I could sense it the moment you walked into the cavern. It's nothing normal. It's not regular magic.
And you see how he's basically as turning back to the others, and they're now very close, but they're not stopping for him or anyone. They're just riding past, and he says it in a voice that kind of like just almost in the same tone, like the same sort of clear tone of just talking. He utters the words of Eptimus Prioli, Eptimus Pimentel, and two of the last riders just stops, and he gives like a straight hand back, and they just swirl around with the horses and start to ride back. And the man that you have talked to, the Inquisitor, kind of looks back at you and nods, unsure really what he means by it, but he starts to kind of move with the cart again. And further away now, the two other riders are seeing just leaving, heading for the village.
I seeing the other two guys head back, and I'm guessing they're moving quicker than I could even hope to jump on one of the horses. I yell out a quick thank you. And then I guess I will just start walking back to hopefully catch up to Ebonheart.
Right, yeah. You would reckon it'll take you some odd hours, maybe 3 hours or whatever, and you should link up with Ebonheart. Walking.
How long would it take me to get to the that big tree again?
Yeah, maybe 2 hours.
Yeah, I'll just go to the big tree and wait there for him.
Yeah, it's closer to you and for him, so that would be a place of good connection, sort of thing. You could very easily climb it and go over it. It's not like impossible in that sense, but it's impossible to ride through it or over it. The trees are fairly wide or thick, as they are the ones that kind of goes up to like the Alaskan version, the Singwash, whatever they're called. So for us in meters, it's probably like 80 meters up or 90 or something similar to that.
Yeah, I'll just climb it, and then I'm just gonna sit on top of it and wait for him.
And it takes you, Ebonheart, maybe a couple of hours. Hard to say. when two Inquisitor riders seems to be riding and will just pass you if you do nothing.
Do I recognize them?
From what you have seen, they are fairly the same, but they are the same that would be the riders you have seen. But they don't really wear name tags or different attires. They very much so go for everyone will be unified. So it will be hard to say who is sentencing the judgment. But they do have names and some sort of function. A title function. You've heard about the Eptimus. Earlier it was Eptimus Dama and Eptimus
Optimus.
something
It was
else.
something O.
Eptimus Bauer, maybe.
It started with an O. I know that
Oh,
much.
then it was Ortner.
Yeah.
Dama and Ortner. But the names here is, I mean, only them knows, you know. So what will you do?
If they don't sort of interact with me at all, I'm going to continue past.
Yeah, leaving them as they don't really shed any sort of emotion that you're passing. They're just traveling past. A wonder is if those are the same, and most probably Beth actually caught up. And as a couple of other half hour or so, you see the same sort of scene that been described before, this larger tree that occupies the whole road, laying just perfectly over it. Very easily for you to see that Beth have managed to climb it and sitting waiting impatiently like on top of it.
Nice to see you again. Have a good ride.
Eventful.
I guess you saw the Inquisitors on their way back then.
So I'm assuming they were interested in what you told them?
Definitely. Seems they sent Epidermis and Optimus back or something. I don't really remember their names, but two of them were sent back, so that's good at least. Unfortunately, they didn't seem fit to pay me for my information. But at least we still got a free horse. So, you know, nothing too horrible came out of this, I suppose.
For Ebonheart, you can roll a observation.
Okay.
All right. You, with the conversation, being a elf, your senses are heightened, easier to recognize things such as noises or smell or sight. Here, sight is difficult because the forest and the terrain is so very thick. But the smell of something burning as a campfire or some sort of camp, far away but closer in some way, further into the forest. Definitely you haven't smelt this or sensed it since the village. You're guessing maybe an hour at the very most if you would walk, but maybe half hour, 40 minutes.
Just out of curiosity, are we in a big hurry here? Did they tell you anything else?
They're surprisingly very silent. Didn't have if anything to say to me. The head guy literally just said the two people's names. Didn't even like give them orders seemingly. Literally just said their name, continue riding on as the other two wheeled around. But there's definitely something up with them and their horses. They're not normal. Still kind of feel all necromancer dead inside kind of a thing, but nothing definitive still.
All right. Well, someone's maybe cooking something. I don't know. Maybe burning someone. Maybe they're just resting. 30 minutes, an hour, maybe. That ish way, if you're interested.
Well, we don't really have anything else to do other than ride to town, so I'm always up for getting into trouble. And I guess I will beckon him closer and see if I can slide down the trunk onto the back of the horse.
Yeah, if you would.
Yeah, I'll move close enough.
Yeah, slide down and hop on behind you.
Taking the time to go through the forest, you move fairly easily. It's not a difficult terrain by any means. You get after a short time a smaller house, a timbered house, feels sturdy, looks like someone's home, like a live outside the grid sort of feel. The door is ajar, and there is a sign of something that has broken out. As there is a blood trail leading out and to the back.
How can we tell how much blood? Like, is this a serious wound, or is this,
More like
dead body being dragged?
more like parts, like smaller driplets, not like someone being dragged and almost being emptied of blood.
Okay. um, is it like one set of footprints that we can see in the ground, or? Or can we even see footprints? Is it just the blood trail?
There is a small blood trail and a set of several footstep leading from the door seen and to the back of the house.
Um, I guess looking at Evan Hart, um, one of us take the front, one of us take the back.
I'll sneak around.
Um, just to make sure that he has a better chance for surprise, I guess. I will walk up to the front door and knock on it kind of loud.
The door gives in lightly with a creak.
In that case, I'll just go ahead and push it further open.
Mm.
Hello? Anybody home?
There is no response back. Will Ebonheart roll a stealthy roll?
Yes.
One that will make it so that you are still stealthy. I will change the name for fail and success to more like half doing it. You succeed with like a sort of negative bit, which would be like either it will take you longer to do, or it will maybe be detectable. Maybe you will break a branch or something, or people might hear it. It's up to you.
Let's take it nice and easy.
Yeah, you slowly make your way like an arc around the house. And as Beth makes her way in, it's a gruesome scene. Someone has been fighting and trying to defend, very easily knocked back chair. There are several pieces of wood that has been broken, like desk and the double bunk bed has been thrown over. There's sheets everywhere. A unfinished meal is on the table, and some of the parts of the kitchen area is just like smashed as well. It looks to be a very tough scene. Someone has been fighting and someone has been fending for their lives.
There's no sign of either attacker still?
No, it's empty at the moment. Yes.
Does it seem to be one room, or is it a multi-room?
Yes,
cabin?
one. Yeah, one room.
Just the one room? Okay.
Yeah. You can make an observation.
Sure.
Yeah, that's what you see. And it's still fresh in a way. You know, the food is not cold. It is more semi-warm. So it's been a while. It's not been hours at least. And the kitchen area is a little bit almost to this brink of hot. It's cooling off. So it must have been fairly recent. Um, and as Ebonheart makes its way around, there is one body and a trail that continues into the forest. You want to investigate the bodies or the trail leading further in?
No, let's stick with the bodies.
Right. Or body. The one that you come up to, very sure that no one has really heard or seen you. It's a woman in her 40 to 50s. Her clothes resemble someone that is working in the forest somewhere, like a woodcutter or just hunter. And she is killed in a way which indicates like multiple stabs to the back when she was kind of lying down here. So maybe knocked down and then killed here, or killed in the house then dragged out here.
Well, if she was dragged after being killed, there's gonna be drag marks.
Mucho correcto.
And I would also be able to tell if she has been flipped over, like maybe someone was running her pockets, because if she died on her back and was then flipped over, there's not going to be much blood because it all went out the back. But if she hasn't been touched since she's laying, all the blood came out and poured all over her back and down.
So you want to flip to see?
Yeah, I will look.
You humor that idea. To what you were thinking, she was killed on the spot here. There is still a couple of belt bags, a classic just setup, and none of them have been opened. They are all closed with like a leather strap that goes around a wooden thing, sort of strap, so latched and knotted up.
Rigor mortis, or has the blood dried yet? Is it starting to?
How much in medicine do you have?
6.
You are not really sure of those terms. However, the person to have been killed within, you would say, maybe like the couple of hours somewhere. I don't remember the rigor mortis.
That sets in kind of quick. But then it goes
Limb again.
yeah, all flab again, yeah.
Rigor mortis appears approximately 2 hours after death. And progress to the limbs, completing between 6 to 8 hours after death. So I would say it's still rigor mortis then. Which means that the body is tensed up stiff.
Do I hear Beth yet?
When you were kind of coming around the bend, she kind of called out hello, helping your movement if anyone were kind of to listen. So you know that she's in the house at the moment.
I'm gonna turn and look the way the assailant went, but I'm gonna just kind of loud say, I think I found the occupant, and I know where whatever it is, killed her, ran out to.
I'm guessing I could hear that pretty well, what with the open door and all.
For sure.
So I guess I'll go ahead, shut the front door behind me, and then go out through the back and join back up with him.
And yeah, you see the same sort of scene. A woman laying now, like, yeah, she's still like face down.
Robbery gone wrong? Any ideas?
I haven't checked her bag yet.
Yeah, house was definitely a little in a disarray, but it didn't really look like it was ransacked. It looked more like it was just kind of in a struggle. I didn't notice anything like somebody had searched through the place, right?
It looked like a bad fight, yeah. And as so, this is 1, and there was a bunk bed for 2.
Plain.
Right?
How big of a bunk bed was it? And did I see like a loft or anything in there?
No. There were no other place that anyone could be at. But it was a normal sized bed for 2. A bunk bed.
Okay, interesting. Yeah, I'll well, there had to have been at least 2 people there because they did have bunk beds. So I'm guessing they must have at least been friends at some point.
I am going to just go through her, what she's wearing, and I'm also going to see if I can find signs of, I don't know, maybe she pulled some hair, or maybe she has like slashes on her palms from grabbing a knife or something, like defensive injuries. I kind of want to see if she was, ambushed or if this was a fight.
Yeah, you do see that it was a pure fight. She has like skin under the nails or like hair between the fingers, and there were definitely a scene of trying to defend herself against someone. The hair is dark, like almost pitch black. And as you kind of ride through the several packs. Some of them are with just like nails or ordinary tools for a home that you would use. Things that you would just keep in a small patch. And you also see that he has a set of coins if you want to take such coins.
I mean, I've already taken blood money, so why not?
Yeah. 26 silver.
Looking around this area, is there like a stall or something that we could leave the horse at?
No.
No lean-tos or anything?
No. Strangely enough, there is like no wild animals, or not tamed animals like goats or cows or anything that would give you any sort of much needed like milk or chickens for eggs or whatever.
Yes.
So it could indicate that this is a outpost or just a place they go to for a short period of time.
Interesting.
Have you looked through the house?
Just briefly. Just enough to see that there was nobody really there and that there was signs of a struggle. On that note, though, I will go back in the house and do a quick run through of it. Do I see any books, notes, anything like that?
Upon a more like deeper search, this is what you would assume would be the sort of outpost to some sort of watch. You see a paper that has been folded and would be in the pillow, kind of tucked in. And the order basically gives a very sharp man the station and wait for further instructions. And it's been sealed with a very simple wax seal without any sort of seal itself. It's just like pushed into the paper. So there's no like official paper. So this could be anything from like bandits to some whatever it is, but it's not a sanctioned city or whatever that has done this. But out here, who knows? It's new stretches of lands that has its own politics by now. So difficult to say.
Is there like a chest or something in the place for clothing?
You do find a gem. Let's see if we can't. Whatever that is. Think. Oh, you can only roll there. The gem is a simple jasper.
Okay. Do I see any clothing in the place?
A set of clothes for sure. Like probably for three different sets. More normal clothes and one for like colder climate or normal kind of just exchange. And it's one set for a male and one set for a female.
Okay.
You also,
do I see any? Oh, sorry.
No, I was gonna say that you also find a pair of bows with quivers and a two medium shields and short swords.
I'll bring all of those to Evanhart's attention. In case there's anything he'd be interested in. Do I see any like supplies, like extra bedrolls or stuff like that? Rations?
Rations, I would say. And it is for just piled together. So it would maybe be for 2 weeks amongst them two.
I'll take those. Do I see any blankets on the bed? I'll take those too.
Yeah, blankets. Yeah.
Yay, I have a makeshift bedroll.
Better than nothing, for sure.
Yes, exactly. And the orders that I saw, do they have a date on them or anything?
No, it's more like a note than an official order. Like,
yeah,
someone has just written it, given it to someone, deliver this to these people, sort of thing.
Okay, yeah. I just wanted to see if we had any idea how long ago these were given. And I don't see anything else of interest. Can I check out the fireplace, see if there's anything hidden up in there?
Oh yeah, no, you go through that and see nothing that is like out of the ordinary.
See if maybe they stuffed something away.
Yeah. No, this is what you will come up with. So nothing more than that. Yeah.
For some reason you were muted, so I literally only heard this is like that last thing you literally just said.
Yeah. No, you don't find anything specific there. It's the weapons, the rations, and the makeshift bed that you could do.
Yeah, I'll just and there's nothing maybe under the bed, like underneath the mattress and stuff?
No.
Okay. Cool. Sorry. Had to hope. Yeah, I'll just go back outside and join Evanhart, tell him about the various weapons we found, the shields. They definitely had some kind of notes telling them to stay here, and judging from the clothing, I'm assuming that our assailant was a man.
Okay. Orders from whom, and who were these people?
It doesn't unfortunately say anything. Just says to keep watch here. Doesn't say anything about who's in charge, who these people were, nothing like that. Only reason I'm even thinking it's a man is just because I found men's clothing. I got a couple things of rations and some of the blankets, but other than that, doesn't really seem to be much of interest in there unless you'd like to, like, take a look. Could be you find something I missed.
I am curious. What would, after they've all been stationed here, what would be the reason for one of them to murder the other one and then run away?
Looking at the lady, does she look any familiar? Like, does she look like she could be a member of those brigands that were in town?
No, this one is more simpler, not as soldier or barbarian or thieving.
Does it look like she had any weapons on her?
No, not at the moment. But there were weapons in the
Yeah, I
in the
just
place.
was just curious was all, I guess, really. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe she was a traitor of some kind, but I have no idea. We could always follow the tracks there.
I will say I am curious as to what happened.
The woman when Ebonheart first came on her, did it look like she had been deliberately like placed there? Like, was she posed a certain way, or did it look like they had literally just carried and dropped her there?
Yeah, she was most probably just dropped here, killed here and
Okay.
dropped here. Yeah.
Okay. Well, judging from that, then they definitely were not friends, and they didn't find her that way. uh, hmm. Um, yeah, unfortunately, I think the only way we're going to get any answers is if we capture the person who did this, or actually look for them. What time of day is it?
Like it would be 3 or 4 p.m.
Okay.
I see we could chase.
All right. Sounds good. Do we bring the horse, or do we leave it behind and come back for it?
Well, how's the terrain looking where the trucks go?
You could definitely use a horse. It will be a little bit slower as it's like through the forest. It's not a path somewhere. The path leading to the house is here, to this house. But from here on, it's going to be through the forest. So it's doable, but it's not going to be in any faster pace. And you're probably going to have to, break the branches a little bit as you go through and lift them up and so forth.
Well, I don't feel like walking yeah, if I don't have to, so I would like to save the horse from breaking its legs.
Probably a good idea. We the house, is it like, are there stairs leading up into it, or is it just flat on the ground?
A little bit raised for the drag underneath so it doesn't get the cold dampness going through the boards. So it has a little bit of a raised up, but not by much, maybe like a couple of inches. It's just so that the air can go through underneath. It's not so that you can kind of crawl underneath it.
Well, if you don't want to chance hurting the horse, we could always just stick it in the house. Or, just ride it, whichever it is that you prefer. But either way, I agree. Let's follow the tracks. Or the trail.
I think, yeah, I think I will tie the horse to somewhere in the back of the house. And just like Little Red Riding Hood, start hopping through the forest. Avoiding the big
Are we
bad wolf.
skipping?
Yeah. I'm sure we can find a bread basket in the house.
That's a thing. So you are gonna sneak or walk or jog, or what kind of tempo do you want to push? As you stow away the horse.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, we stowed the horse away.
This person has quite a bit of a lead, and I mean, unless it's really loud, really bright, you're not gonna notice anything unless someone is kind of close to you in a forest. So maybe a quick pace, starting out at least.
Sounds good.
And as you do, you kind of move with intent, let's say. And it's fairly easy. And as you've been tracking it, you see that there are two people that are either pushing someone in the middle that is walking very unevenly and bleeding. So there are three in total, where two on each side is moving a little bit easier, and at times they have to kind of walk in a line or kind of push someone as it's getting more narrower, And the pace they are having is fairly quick. Like it is a little bit in a hurry. It's not like sprinting or jogging, but they're definitely pushing and moving quicker. Anything that you take away from it?
Sounds like they have a prisoner. Perhaps the person who killed that lady? Or maybe her and this guy were ambushed, and these are the guys who killed the woman and took the other person hostage.
I think keeping the pace.
And this little pace you're having takes like 20 minutes, 30 minutes. You're about to get to the point when you're getting a little bit exhausted. The ground, however, just changes, and you have been blessed with like a very soft, blankety, almost like a velvet, nice ground with a mix between a mire, like the almost swampy. If you put one foot down, it kind of sucks down and water kind of seeps up. Mixed between that and very nice, just grasslands, However, now a couple of steps in, the ground is coming loose. Some of it is just pure gravel underneath. It's such a strange sort of wave where it's grass on top, and as you're taking a step in, it just rips apart as if the grass itself is fake, and underneath is the true, just porous gravel, pebbles of stone, and it's just like a dry paste underneath it. And over a couple of steps, it just changes temperature as well. It almost as if the air gets drier as you're moving in.
Thing.
What was that?
I said that's interesting.
Hmm.
Has it changed how the tracks appear any, or?
No, but you definitely see it better now. The person in the middle, or that is the captive or whatever it is not dripping of blood anymore, probably soaked up or got like bandaged up or whatever it is. Now it's not showing as much. So it's over time slowly just stopped. Up ahead, larger stones shows itself, like yellow stones would be found in canyons, and like almost sand red to yellow, and the forest starts to disappear, and more this strange sand and eroded materials starts to appear. And you're in a rockier landscape. You just want to keep up? Anything that you want to convey?
I'm just going to be trying to keep up. The pace that we've been setting.
And for Ebonheart, any feelings, so to speak?
Unless the tracks have changed, like the disciplined steps are like decreasing, indicating they're slowing down, or that the person that is, I don't know, being moved along with, if they're starting to slow down, or if there's signs that the pace, the gait, the pattern is changing, unless there's something obvious, I think just continue on the same.
And this is like something that continues for another 10, 15, maybe even a couple of minutes more, where you're seeing this landscape just changing, and over time you're just leaving this thriving forest scene into more a rocky, destroyed like landscape. And by it all, a couple of high flying ravens find its shadows amongst the stone and sand you walk upon. And the warmth in the air kind of gets a little bit of an unease to you, feeling that this is not normal. And you definitely sense that this is somewhere of a shift. This is not really a normal thing that would happen. But moving along, the two of you reaches a place that will most probably take a time or two for Vamp to actually see. Let's see if we can activate it from here. Redix, you see the scene? Question mark.
Yes, I see what looks like I don't know, the Grand Canyon kind of themed.
How about Vamp?
Mine's still loading for me. We've got like a really bad storm here, so.
Yeah, if I look at you're still in the lair sort of thing.
There we go. It finally loaded up for me. Ooh, that's pretty.
You see that there is some sort of temple in the background of this greater rock that you're standing behind. This one also kind of shoots up into the air, maybe a couple of 100 feet, like 60 to 80 meters up. Definitely something you could climb and look out or go around for sure. So you know that there is some sort of temple structure in the background. But you have, with a purpose, stayed behind it so you can either approach to look closer, either by going around or above it, or what do you want to do?
The birds circling above that we've been seeing, do they act like normal birds? Like,
Oh yeah, they don't go by a strange pattern. They're just flowing with the wind.
okay, cool. Thank you. What do you think? Do we try and sneak in? There a way to sneak in? Does seem kind of open.
Do the tracks appear to be leading towards the temple?
Oh, for sure, yeah.
Any other tracks?
Not. Let's have a gander. Not from where you're coming from, no. Or yeah, you see that it would be tracks coming down this way. So where do you go?
I'm kind of wondering, like, how much time we've gained on this group. Like, if it's at this point, if it's like minutes behind, or if it's still.
No, you're probably like 2 hours to 5 hours behind because the person was dead when you arrived, and been so for some hours, and then you started to pick up the pace after them. And as it's not been a storm or it hasn't really been a lot of rain or anything, the tracks were very clear. So you're probably anywhere from maybe 3 hours, 4 hours.
You do you want me to go in loud, cause some kind of distraction as we head up to this place, and then you try and sneak, or?
Risky, but I like it. I don't think you're gonna like it if there's 10 of them inside waiting.
Well, I mean, I could just, go up yelling, screaming, acting like something's been after me. See if any of them come out. Jump them from behind. I mean, I'm assuming not every single one of them is going to come flying out of the place. I don't know. Could be. Or, well, if you don't mind protecting my form for a moment here, I can do a quick walkabout.
All right. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. I'll go ahead, take my pack off, sit down on the ground, get kind of comfy. Don't move me, and please don't let anything hurt me. And I want to do a spirit walk.
Yeah, so you will be here. And roll for it. Oh, it's not a roll even. Deduct just a spirit point then.
Okay.
And you will be able to move 12 squares. And then the question is, do you want to use more to move another 12 squares?
Even see squares. Exactly how much would a square be on this map?
To here is 12.
Okay, yeah. I guess I will be using several spirit points to move about. Let me see. Okay, yeah. So how do I? Okay. So I move over there.
Mm-hmm. You see two guards outside this entrance of a temple, old looking temple. And they are worn by the weather, and they are much human, as they are sweating and not liking the sun at all.
I use another spirit point
Mm-hmm.
to go there. And then I'm going to use one last one to peek into this temple if I can.
Right, yeah. And let's see if we can do...
There.
Toggle navigation. No. Configure. You are supposed to drag different people in. Question is, can't we do one of these things? Multi-level. Tokens moving in an area will be teleported. Snap to grid. Let's call it Tempo 1. Matching identifier. Author line. Field. I was wondering, is there a name for this? Can we text name? So we call this O2 then. And I will copy this thing. Oh, wait. Let's paste this thing in and name this O1. If you drag your token on this thing there, are you able to get your token teleported somehow?
To the temp 2 box?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm there right now. Does it not show me there for you guys?
Oh yeah, I was hoping that it would teleport you. Doesn't do it. Temp 2 multi-level. Temp 01. Update. Huh. We could just jump over. You will be able to see it too then. Activate. Or what I could do is it will be a preload for Redix, but Redix I don't think you will see much. It will be just a dark picture.
You're loading for me, just so you guys know.
But now you should be seeing it, right? Now you're in.
Ah, yes. Excellent. Okay. Huh. Do I see any like additional doors in this place, or is it just the one big room?
It's just this big room.
And it's just the two people?
Yeah, there is a lot of blood, and I will try to not lines, red, perfect. And where the blood is also a very mutilated, destroyed body.
Is it just the one body?
Yes, one body.
Okay. When I'm spirit walking, can I hear what people are talking about? Or is it literally just seeing?
No, I think that you actually see and hear. Yeah, you see and hear everything. So the two of them are not talking. The both of them are looking at the statue as if they're waiting for something.
Do I get any odd feelings in this
Not
area?
as dark as the other one. No.
But is it still dark feeling? Or
There is definitely magic afoot, but not as dark as the other one was.
the statue, do I recognize it any?
No, this one is strangely a statue you haven't seen or so before. There is none that have been shown in any city village that you have been to. But it's a human, an older depiction of like a long-robed, bearded man with like a hood over, holding a very grasp firm of his belt, just looking out through whatever this is, the congregation here. But there's not many here, but determined.
And it's literally just the two people here. There's
Hmm.
nobody else that I can see.
Yeah, exactly.
I guess I will use. Okay, yeah, So I guess I will cancel my spirit walk and return to my body.
Yeah. You don't have to go back to the body, so you can just cancel
Okay.
it.
Okay.
And Ebonheart, you see how she kind of comes to. And you could actually delete that one.
There's at least 4 people. Two guards at the entrance. Two people within the temple, and a corpse in the corner. I don't know whose temple it is. It was some kind of older man with a hood, holding his belt, like looking out. There didn't seem to be any other entrances that I could see into the temple. It just looked like it was the one main entrance, and then just the 2 people that were in there.
All right. Those are doable numbers. Well, I mean, since we followed them all the way to the little base of operations, I say we go say hello. I would prefer the cover of night.
From the terrain when I was walking around, did it look like we could maybe like kind of skirt around, like going along like
You
this?
could definitely do that by night, depending on where they are, if they are doing patrols, or if they're staying still, or if they're even standing on the outside. There are like walls of the rocks that form good coverage, for sure.
Yeah, I'll do my best to describe that. I'm perfectly fine waiting here if you'd prefer to attack at night.
Well, hopefully I don't have to do this alone.
No, of course I will help however I can. but no, I'm not gonna make you go in and take all this guys on alone. No worries about that.
So the idea is to wait out the night, or do you want to proceed to another place, or where's the idea?
Maybe give it until after sunset.
Any sort of darkened theme to it all?
Yeah, if they can't see me coming, that's gonna be that's gonna make my life a lot easier.
And as so, you progress through to the brink of it being much, much darker. We don't really have that here, but it's going to be very bright on the map. The warmth is still here, but less less strong. And when you peek like around the corner of where you're hiding, let's kind of move to this location here. The people have moved slightly. Let's see if I can actually do that. And are now like more towards the wall itself. And it's difficult to see, but the hoods have been dropped a little bit. And they are not sleeping, but they're definitely not the best guards at the moment.
Are there any torches?
Not now. If you wait like another half hour, it will probably be a need for them to have it to see anything. Now it's like dusk dark. It's like still with a blue hue to it all, but easy to be hiding as in the shadows, but you will see very easily. Or easily, it's a bit difficult. So if you want to wait even more to it's becoming like really dark, you can do that too. This is where you are at the moment.
I would like to just maybe me hug this rocky outcropping rats. And maybe if I could maybe climb maybe some of these parts.
Right? Yeah. Make a stealth or agility. Both you could do it and easy. Without any greater difficulty, a lot of the rocks and stuff are easy for you to just grab onto and scale as if it were one of the more easier tasks you've done.
Don't really know where from I can see.
I think you have to go a little bit more. It's literally just ahead of you, the sort of. So if you go here, you will see.
Oh.
Bloop.
All right. Just gonna like lie on my belly and just look at the terrain ahead of me, and try and just work out the path I can take to get as close as possible without being seen.
Yeah, you could very easily maybe take off that thing. Maybe like scale this way and whoops, daisy, not that high up. It jumped. Yeah, something along the lines of You could get there fairly easy. And another route would maybe get up on top of here. Or you could try to do tippity tip. So all of the sort of cracks in the walls that the rocks give you are good covers.
I think we're gonna go with the middle one. So while it's still kinda sunset, I will begin very quietly moving along this little path here.
I don't have any of them. Yeah, you jump down still with a good stalk and hide, moving up towards. And is there something that Beth you want to do, or?
I guess I will do my very best to follow him. Will I need to roll something to attempt that?
Agility or stalk and hide. But you don't have stalk and hide.
No, I do not. So it's going to be agility.
Yeah, so a normal agility.
Is that right?
Yeah. Very easily making even Ebonheart wonder what is up. Rolling 5 under 14. It's not as let's say with the same sort of hidden ease that Ebonheart is doing it, but it's at least without breaking any sound. As Ebonheart gets closer, there is like a very distinct almost a not sleeping but resting pattern to both of them. They're leaning back into the wall of the temple, and they're definitely like very eased up. Long and slow breathing patterns. And as you basically get close enough, you hear not a snore or anything that grand, but a little bit of the sort of like just long in and outs. So very good resting for sure.
Well, it is time to say hello.
So in that case, you just use your weapon. And there isn't really a need for a roll, but you roll for it anyway, and you will just use the damage prompt. So the score, if you fail or succeed, doesn't matter because he's standing still. So just roll. Where do you want to do your stab.
I mean, I'm going to attempt to get him by the neck. So even if he doesn't die, he can't make any sound except maybe clanging something.
So roll a damage. And he has a little bit more than that. So he wakes up and starts to like gasp for air, and you could very easily just muffle his mouth. And the other one will, I think you have to do minus. Wow. So the other one wakes up with the sort of notion that something happened. He heard the gurgling sounds. So he jumps into a sort of get ready phase. And I put you in as well. So you could right click on the crossed swords top right above the chat to get a loosely combat tracker.
Cool.
And the highest score is a good score.
Ooh.
Yeah. So, Beth, what would you do?
Is there any way I could run across to that bandit and attack, or?
You have 12 squares to move. And
yeah, that's
yeah.
9 squares. Yeah, so I want to run across to him and swipe upward with my scythe. Second?
Yeah, for sure. Yes, roll.
Okay, cool.
Good. Oh, good hit. So hit location to see where you hit it. Body and then damage. So that makes it so that it's like he has 5 in the body and you do 5. So he will fall down. He's not dead, but within a couple of rounds, he will be dead if not getting like help.
Awesome.
So he is out of the commission.
Heck yeah.
However, like he's not dead, but you get it.
Yeah.
So on a what could be best served as that, like health is degenerating, maybe, I don't know. And he can't apply first aid on himself, so he tries the best he can to just hold whatever intestines is falling out, just trying to patch them back in, you know. So the round for you went, the bandit did his turn, and then Ebonheart.
Did my friend here die?
No, he will be able to react next turn. But you saw that Beth very viciously took care of the other one.
Remind me again. how do you get back EP?
Your endurance points you get back by either doing completely nothing and not getting hit on a turn, or by the end of combat.
Excellent. In that case, we will give him not one, but 2 little stabs. I will use another one. I will burn an EP to attack twice.
Ooh, I was like, you can't attack twice unless. Oh, yeah, you can do that. Yeah. Nice.
Location and damage.
Yes. They are for 3. So he is battered badly, and the bandit itself is going to become a part of the new initiative. So therefore, it's good to have the initiative up and running, or the combat tracker, because we re-roll it all for each round. So the one that is out of commission, his next turn is now, and he is still trying to stabilize himself. He won't make it if left alone. Then it's Ebonheart's turn. The bandit is badly hit in the areas, but he's still up.
Well, we will do the same. So if you meet, does it fail?
Yes. You have to roll under. Ooh, the body. Where the body hasn't been struck, though. You did like head, right arm, body, left leg. Beth, you're seeing that Ebonheart is stabbing this guy multiple times, but the bandit is still up.
Wait, the guy is still alive despite him stabbing him multiple times?
Yeah.
The guy in front of me is still just like grabbing his wounds, right?
He's trying to put back his intestines, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I guess I will come back over here and just try and dab him with my scythe. Just swipe down, I guess.
Close, but no cigar.
I guess I stumbled on some rocks.
You were such a hurry. We'll attack Ebonheart, as that's the one that you got the attacking. The short sword, he will hit. Do you have anything against it? Or is it after the damage? Ebonheart.
What do you mean?
Didn't you have like traits that would be like there is no hit if you use an EP, or the damage is turned down to 1 if with an EP? You had something along those lines before.
There was something.
Like sidestep damage, or was it the hit location? There was some sort of trait you had.
Not seeing anything, so maybe not.
Maybe it was the other one.
Not your skills?
Oh, it was a
Or trait, or whatever it is. Let's see.
yeah,
Oh,
it's
yeah,
a trait
stats.
one. 4 damage to the body. You had armor though, right?
Yes, so no damage.
No damage. So with that being said, this guy will fall unconscious though. Yeah, he is unconscious. Remove combatant. It's, I think, the easiest one.
So this guy's out of it, and then this dude is slowly.
No. This guy is considered dead, but he's he was the next one in line, but it's Ebonheart's turn. No, we have a new initiative. That's what we're having. Clear it.
One.
Good little thing. So Ebonheart, you are up again.
Also, I just realized there's no damage bonus.
Do you have any that you're putting on?
I can't add any, but I have a +1.
Let's see if he would have died or gone off if there were a +1. 1 to the head throat. The right arm would have rendered it useless, and then 4 and 3. Got you. So it doesn't matter, but his attack wouldn't have worked. He changed the hand to his left hand, so he's trying to fight with his not main hand, which is going to be difficult. Oh, critical. Nice.
Yeah, I don't think it does anything when you crit, though.
It does your full damage, which you rolled anyway. So you do the same thing that Beth did to the other bandit. You basically just bury the dagger in two, and he kind of just starts to blink. Being in the negative or in the same, he's bleeding out. His friend has kind of gone into a unconscious state and will die within a couple of rounds too. This one is starting to bleed out. So you could just end his life or wait for him to just bleed out. It's up to you.
No, I don't think there's going to be any mercy here.
So as he's falling down, there's no need. I mean, he can't really defend. But you succeed. You slit his throat, or do you want to just continue stabbing as he's falling down?
I mean, it's good practice.
You scrape up the leg really bad, so he starts to bleed from that profusely too. So with like 2 of them, he falls unconscious too. Like 2 body parts that is below or equal to. So it's not good to get a lot of damage in different body parts because you're getting into this sort of unconscious state. But anywho, yeah, those two bandit guards are dealt with. And didn't make any sound, luckily. It was a quick little couple of rounds, and they were taken care of. And both of them are just unconscious. One of them is really dead. And as you're looking over the other one, it kind of just stops with any sort of breathing moving. So both of them are dead.
Just for science here, do you get any bonuses on your attack roll if you have a stat high enough?
No.
It is only damage.
Only damage. But it's strange that you didn't get the +1 damage.
Because I just looked, because you can actually just change the little boxes for the weapon. So for science, I'm just going to click damage again now and see if it does it. No.
But on your sheet it says, oh, you changed it to +1.
Yeah, it didn't do anything.
Yeah, put a mod 1 there. No, that didn't do. But did it do anything on your like roll if you have a 1 there?
Oh, no, never mind. No.
Huh. Mod.
Yeah, let me try. Wait.
Weapon roller. Let's see if I easily understand what the programming have been. The 20 is being rolled. Yeah, there is no addition to it at all. It should have your mod. So the question is, in a weapon, break edge settings. Oh, but this is the correct one. It is called prop weapon mod X mod. That's easy to remember, right? Do we want it to be greater? Yes, we do. Let's see here. And copy that in. Put it in here. Let's see. If I then roll, the mod should be, let's do 5 because that's going to be very high. That's dumb. But now you see that the 20 became 25. which is not what we want, because we don't want to increase your... We want to increase your skill value, though, right? With the mod. Or we could do a negative mod. The thing is, if we do a negative mod, it could be negative in the... to become like a negative result. Are you with what I'm saying?
Not really.
So if I roll a 12 here, it's a 7 because you have a mod of 5 now. So if I do a 15 mod, say that you have like insane amount of agility or whatever the mod comes from, it's going to be like -8. Get where I'm going?
I'm trying to.
The modifier is applied upon the roll, but negatively. So let's say that you have your 15 in, or you can't change it because you have changed the skill, I guess. /15. So why do you have 30 in your skill? Oh, it's tied together with the skill value. Oh, never mind, I guess. Then it's working as intended. We don't need that. So if you look at mod, if you put a 0 on mod, the skill value that you have is 15. That's the core one you have. If you have a modifier of 5, it will increase the roll on your skill value. So the roof of failure will be, or rather success will be higher. So instead of rolling under 15, now you're rolling under 20, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I mean,
so
that
what now?
I mean, since there are no bonuses to the attack roll, just a damage.
Yeah, so the damage is the next one.
Yeah.
But now we solved this sort of rolling high or low. But the damage... Why aren't you picking up the whole thing and just putting it out there? The damage being rolled last. Roll location, blah, 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 blah. Roll... No, weapon damage prop. I mean, it should roll it at like... You see, it's a plus 56 there. Weird. So if I had a +1 now... Yeah, it works as intended. I don't know. Whatever we did, we made it work, right? Or am I completely wrong?
Well, I mean, we could find out.
Yeah, just roll. I've done a +1 to your dagger. Oh, I see why it's not working. We're rolling from different things. You're rolling from your character sheet. I'm rolling from the token sheet, which is weird, but it makes sense. So in here, +1. Try it now when I've done a +1 on your character sheet. You have to
Nope.
re-roll it. Oh, re-roll it. Yeah. Now you see it's a +1.
Yep,
Yeah.
there it is.
So always roll from your character sheet, never roll from your token. Because the token, if you double click your token, your character sheet comes up. But it's just anchored to the token, so it's not really your character sheet. It is very useful when you're GMing, your bad guys are the tokens, so you can have, this one has a different hit point than the other one, so they are not connected. Anywho, we kind of strifed through it. The mod for the skill value is when you have a plus weapon, and then it would help your skill value to go up. Anywho, we finished that off. You guys as well. The bad guys are down. Not gurgling for air. Both of them are dead.
Looking at Evan Hart and then the 2 corpses at our feet. Should we bring some backup when we go inside?
I look around. What backup did you have in mind?
I look down at the dead bodies with those guys.
Oh,
Or
why
do
not?
you prefer to go in stealthy?
That's a good point, actually. Oh, as far as you know, there's 2 more inside?
Yes. As far as I know, there are 2 more inside. 1 man and I believe 1 woman.
2 people to the backs of you looking at the statue and 1 dead body.
People, 1 corpse.
Well, how about I take a look inside, and if it looks like it's gonna be really bad, maybe you can bring your friend.
Okay. If you're wanting to scout ahead, then come back and tell me how it goes. We can do that. That is what you meant, right?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, sure. I'm fine with that. I'll just keep these guys company. I'll start rifling through their pockets and stuff.
Yes. With that, you will see that they have um, $32 and $31 silver.
Excellent.
You don't get riches from. You could get riches from even the smallest amounts. And we are moving into the inner section. And here we will put even Ebonheart in. Even though Beth is outside, you're able to kind of just be watching in. Redix, you see the scene?
Yes.
Yeah. The two are talking to each other. The one priest that has these red, long, waving, old, patched up robes in matted down like red coloring, is now in a state of more agitated, not angry per se, but very not liking what is happening. Nothing, actually, nothing. It's very still. He is telling the other similar sort of styled bandit that you assured me of the arrival. Why has nothing happened? And the bandit being more like shrugging the shoulders, like, I don't know. And the priest looks up to the statue, and you can roll with an ease, a observation. And as so, it doesn't really strike you at first, but the statue resembles something that you've seen before. And the priest looks very angrily at the bandit, and basically like says that you can go out and call on your brothers and we will discuss what to do from here. And the bandit is kind of sighing and slowly starting to move out. And you're like, I need to do something now. Then you see how the priest holds out one hand, and from it, this tendril-like dark pattern strikes out and hits the warrior in the back. And you see, let's see if we can, we'll have to roll for it, of course. We're going to do it as is. Yes. The body, which makes sense. The bandit basically starts to cough blood, and you see how he gets paler and paler by the second, as if the whole life is being drained out of him. And he kind of turns around with like a snap and draws his short sword. Anything you want to do now?
Yeah, a little 180 action here and back out. Just far enough.
Around the corner of the door, sort of thing. So you're not present in the room, but you're outside looking in. Or do you want to really go out?
Just far enough so I can communicate.
Mm-hmm. To Beth. Or?
Yes.
Yes. You want to say something to her, or in case of?
All right. Bad things happening. Magic. Bring your friends.
Roll a race zombie then.
Yes.
And at this time you feel the zombie rodent just falling to nothingness. As instead, nothing happens. You have to roll under 10. You have 10. You have 10 in raise undead and you roll 10. You have to roll a 9 or lower.
Can I use the other spirit point?
The idea was that you could use a spirit point and it would be in effect next time instead of a roll.
Okay.
But making it work at the same time would make it very unevenly OP to do whatever spell sort of thing.
Sorry. Never mind then.
No. It's just loosely ideas on the rules. And that's why you want to have high in your favorite sort of spell too. And the warrior like runs back and charges the priest. We will see who is who though. Yeah. Where the bandit will try to just swat him away with his magnificent short sword. And 3 in his right arm. This makes it so that he is not able to continue his spell. Why do they have rigid? I don't know. Right arm. Well, he can. If so, the next round, do you want to bring up the undead there? The zombie?
Yeah. Yes.
And for it, we can do a zombie. That will listen to what you have to say. And do you guys want to do something to hinder this fight they have, or do you guys just want to wait to see who wins?
I would like to go back in and try and get as close as possible and try and just to jump whoever wins.
Right. Yeah, you can go back in and you could probably position yourself behind any of the pillars. The fight is so on that they're probably not going to notice someone kind of skip towing around. And it's by now that Ebonheart realizes that the old statues in here are the sort of founding fathers of what was once called the Ashen Blades, a assassin guild that lived like very long ago, like almost the, old tales of these assassin that used magic to conceal themselves. Through darkness, they came and so forth. They were very expensive to hire, and you basically hire them, and no one really knew anything. You put a note in the alms box in an almshouse, and they would just go ahead with the thing, and they would just continue to try to do it until they succeeded. So if there were a Ashen Blade assassin that died, someone else took over the job and they just continued on. There were no stopping them. And they were like this secret organization. And now piecing it together, you're guessing that either the priest or someone are trying to communicate or trying to kind of commune something with them, because this is more like a sacred place for them, so you're not really sure what is happening. But that's your sort of thing, Ashen Blades. So you're running in. Where do you position yourself?
Yes.
And where would Beth and the zombie go?
Seeing him go there. How tall up is this broken one?
You have to huddle or crouch behind. Where do you want the zombie?
He'll be right behind me.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I will go for this pillar.
And he stompy. And then the new initiative is that these two roll a new one. The Red Rose wins. And he is fairly well prepared. And he brings out a favored tool of his sight. And with the left hand, or left arm, he makes it so that the arm is rendered useless. Basically, like shearing off a bigger flesh wound. And then we could kind of go through here. The bandit will scream out in pain. He doesn't have his arm anymore, so to speak. He's like, "What are you doing? Why is this? I thought we had an alliance." And he will try to attack again. And he misses. Anything that you guys want to do now? Or do you want to still kind of see who wins it?
Just to, well, first I'll wait and see if Evan Hart does anything, I guess.
I mean, how are the players looking here?
His arm is in a bad shape, and the red robe guy got hit in the arm. So both of them have been struck by the arms.
They've both been disarmed.
Yes. Well, they still have their intact.
So, give one more round. Let's just see how this plays out.
Where the bandit wins by like a puny little thing. And the red robed priest basically says that they need probably another sacrifice to listen. And the bandit with a sharp success says that you're mad. You deserve to die. Not with that wound though, but the red-robed no. We'll do one more. It's an even Steven, so whew, that was close. He heals himself by draining out 4 damage from his right arm. Now the bandit can't use any of his arms. So he kind of drops his short sword with a very almost Monty Python, no arms. they are just limp to his side. He is draining his life back and healing himself up. Zero and it would be 0 here first, actually, and then a 2 here. The bandit just like, please, no. And that's where the priest is more like laughing with a nice little menacing laugh at the poor bandit that is no more actions to do, sort of thing.
Okay. What kind of distance can you cover, like in a round?
12.
All right, let's see.
So you want to interact?
Perfect. Okay. So I will use light feats. I will use 1 EP, so I can move 6 feet extra, and it's silent, so I can move past the bandits, and they can't react to me. Right up to Mr. Rope here. And give him the business.
Of course. His leg, what the hell did the leg do?
And another EP.
Right leg by 5. He can't stand. That's horrible. To the body of 4. I think I moved him over you. So with that, you basically comes in, swish, the leg goes, and as he's falling, you stab him into the body. Not out, but he is now starting to bleed out of his leg. So he needs to wrap that up. And legs you can wrap up, body you can't. So he is like starting to look through his gear for like first aid bandage. You know, he's like trying to do that. And Beth, you want to do something?
Yeah, seeing Ebonheart make his move, I'm going to send my zombie straight forward. Like I want him to go out that way. And then myself, I'm going to creep around. Why is it not letting? Oh, there we go. I'm going to see, you said 12 feet?
Yeah, 12. Yeah, 12 feet. It's squares, but 12 feet. It's just an aberration. So 12.
1 second here. There we go. Okay. Do 10 feet from there. Okay, there we go. And then I'll come around and kind of like keep crouched behind this pillar so that maybe they don't see me as much. But I want the zombie to definitely try and get their attention, distract them.
Yeah, you can command it to run there, or it will do double.
Yeah. Have them run.
So you will kind of like get to here. And the bandit is probably like looking back. What is happening? And then you guys are on with the And the zombie goes for... Oh, nice. So, Beth, you are up in the starting.
Awesome. Let me see. How far can I get? Yeah, so I'm gonna keep moving forward. I'll get to about here.
Mhm.
And then that's like as kind of as far as I guess I can go.
For sure. Do you have any
Well, wait,
ranged?
actually, can I use? Can I use an EP to get closer up and to attack, or would it just be?
No, if you have a trait, you can do it.
Okay, yeah, never mind. Then I can't do that. Yeah, I guess I'll just be staying in this spot for now, and then I guess I'll use my sling
Mhm.
and aim for the priest.
Yeah, you could go ahead.
Okay.
Oh, close but no cigar.
Damn. Yoke.
No, it's actually the priest turn there. It jumped.
Oh,
the,
I'm sorry.
no, you were ahead, but it was on the bandit, the picker on the tracker. So the priest is now knowing that he is better off going for drain and trying to drain the bandit. Ooh, so he drains him of 6 points.
Ouch.
Yeah. In the leg.
Always the leg.
Yeah. 6 points, meaning that he can't stand on the leg, so he kind of falls over. And so he gets 4 points on the body back, and then the right arm gets fully healed. He's like still problematically not going to be saved within a round or so. He will bleed to death anyway because he couldn't heal the leg. You're healing the body first and then the leg. Same if you're drinking a health potion. If you have damage all over the body and you're bleeding out on the leg, it's going to take the body and stuff first. So it didn't really work for him in this sense. So the right leg is still bleeding out. Coming to the bandit, he is now trying to just F off from here. And the zombie cannot do as it's zombies are considered like a monster. They will roll, and on a 1 they will react. So
Okay.
they didn't react. So it's like a 25% that a monster of this caliber will react. And he is just crawling out. He can crawl half, which makes, if he crawls all of his movement, he crawls 12. Which is not true. He can only crawl half no matter what. So he stood here. So back like 6, something like here. So Ebonheart, your backup.
Yeah, this man is going to be a problem unless he dies.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we need to keep burning this EP.
You're burning it through to his left arm. Not his right leg. Are you mad? 4? Jesus. You basically sever it off him, which is more like a gruesome picture. So it is more than the amount he has in the leg twice. Like he has 4, you've done 9 points. So the leg is just completely destroyed. And from it, he can't at all live. He is bleeding out. He has no more. And he is kind of slipping out of consciousness. Because you can't take that sort of amount of damage. So yeah, he is kind of falling into an unconscious state. And I think it's a good time to stop. You have eliminated the threat in this weird sort of abode of a temple.
But what about the zombie?
Yeah, what about the... Yeah.
Zombie?
Nom, the one that's crawling away.
Oh yeah. We could kind of... The bandit is still alive. He's just... He can't even crawl. So he could kind of use his feet to kind of push himself, which makes it even harder. So
we're out of combat now, right?
Yeah, you can command the zombie to just eat him up or...
No. I want to know what's going on. I want to ask this guy some questions.
Right? Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. I walk over to him and I just kick him back onto his back.
Mm-hmm.
Where do you think you're going? We've got questions for you.
And I mean, he's not dead by any means. He's just he can't use his arms.
Okay. Oh God.
So he kind of just wobbles
what I almost
over.
Said. I'm very happy I did not actually go through with saying that.
It's gonna be difficult to do any dancing for you.
I was gonna say we only need his mouth, but that sounded wrong. What all were you doing here?
He kind of mostly looking in panic, and we were hired by this man, and he points. He can't point. He kind of nods over to the priest to deliver people, and we had the very specific ones, and we did. And for whatever reason, whatever he wanted, it didn't pan out. And now he's gone blazing mad.
Had gone blazing mad. He said he wanted specific people. Any idea why?
No. We got our 200 silver, and we brought the people he pointed out. He just needed the demand, and there were 2. There were actually 2 people.
So he only sacrificed 2 people here. She gives him like this look like you're bullshitting me.
He is meaning that he just needed 1 person. The other one they just killed because he didn't specify they wanted her too.
Okay, thank you. So, well, where do you guys usually stay? Obviously, you don't stay here.
No, we have our own little camp, like a couple of days from here. We're known to be able to do stuff for coin. Like, give us a little pot and we will fix it.
How many of there are you?
About 15, 16.
And they're all back at your camp?
Mostly. Not really now. We are out. We're 3 of us.
Are the rest coming here?
No, they're on their other assignments. They have their own things. We work as like a contractors for different jobs, like 50 silver, 100 silver, 200 silver. We do things.
Do you have horses? Is that how you get back to your camp? I can't imagine you just walk back there.
No, we have horses. What do you think? Of course we have horses.
Where are they?
They are just up there, like behind the temple, up like above us, kind of.
Is there somebody there watching them?
I hope so.
How many would be there watching them?
We are 4 in total. 3 are here, and 1 is probably like up there. So, are you gonna help me with my arms? Like, I mean, we dealt with the bad guy. That was definitely the bad guy.
That was the bad guy, not you and your associates who murdered that person on lookout in the cabin or brought back this other person to be sacrificed. Why on earth do you think I'm going to help you?
I mean, everyone is at the bottom, and now I'm in need of a little bit of just help to get up. You could get some reward, maybe half of what I earned, like 100 silver. Easy to just help me get up. And
I take 100 silver when I can take all of your silver, and I'm going to take out my scythe and hold it to his neck really quick, see if he does anything else.
he's like, yeah, okay. We could, you could get it 200 silver. I can say where it is, and you just help me up, and I'll probably manage with the arms. I mean, who needs arms anyway? They're just in the way.
I smiles and she's like, "Yeah, where is it?"
And now I can't say because then you're just gonna kill me, right? That would just.
I'm gonna do that anyways. It's just a matter of, how quickly am I?
And he kind of tries to kick in your direction. Then you're gonna have to work for it. I'm not gonna tell you anything now. And he's trying to kick you, but it's not really working. As he has no momentum with his arms,
She like beckons over her shoulder for the zombie to come closer. Gets it to like kneel in front of him so he can see that it was one of his former associates.
Yeah.
I think I might need a new friend. What do you think?
He has starts to sweat, and definitely see that he's like speechless. You have never seen a zombie in that way. What is this devil's craft?
She gets it to like snap at him like it's kind of hungry. Oh my. I think I really am wanting some more silver.
I mean, the only silver we have at the moment are like 200 and what I have on me. So I could give you that if you just let me slide away, and I could probably get off on my feet by myself. It is perfectly fine. By the time I get back to my camp, you'll be long gone. I don't remember you. I don't remember any of this. You can live happily ever after. And so
I'm going to live happily ever after no matter what. And she just kind of sighs because she realizes he doesn't like have any new information or like anything else to offer him. So she's just going to let the zombie kind of eat him.
Yeah, he will partake in the eat and he will scream as such.
And then I just want to go up here and shall we look through this guy's stuff, see if he's got anything interesting? Completely ignoring the stuff behind her.
Yeah. You will go through, and Ebonheart, is there something that you want to do? Meanwhile, this is happening, or up to?
I think I'm going to look for maybe things that have been hidden in this room, because realizing where we are,
Mm-hmm.
I think it's gonna get a little curious.
Make a observation.
Of course, it was a 3.
The the thing there is that you see that there are a lot of things here that is afoot, like different, almost like a uncharted scene, you know, when he gets to a room, Drake, and like this is going to take a while to kind of solve it. That's the state you're in at the moment. There are like switches in their sort of where they're holding stuff in their belt in the statues. There are like small switches, and you're like, I don't really want to just go head on this. This is going to take me a while, meaning like probably an hour or two, or maybe even more, to do it in a very safe, secured way. But all of the statues do have some sort of mechanism to it. And you're guessing whatever this person was doing wouldn't do anything. But you're guessing if you're kind of going through the whole sort of procedure and the mechanisms, you could definitely find something new. Maybe even opening up a new section of this sort of temple. But you're struck by how complex it is. There are 3 different things you can kind of start focusing on. And the middle one with the statue that is kind of lit by the light coming in, it will most probably lead you into a new section, a new room. The 2 closest to, left and right statues, will open up a sort of compartment, like a chest or something holding something. You're not sure, rolling poorly, what either are, like left or right. Which one is it that you want to put your efforts into?
Well, we don't really have a time crunch, so the plan is going to be, I mean, unless I activate a bomb and we all die or something.
Oh, yeah.
But
Please don't do that.
left is always the right choice. So it's going to be left, then it's going to be right, and then the middle one in that order.
So you start walk over to the left statue, and Beth, as you're kind of done the whole cat and mouse little play with the bandit, you turn and start to walk over to this priest. You see that Ebonheart has lost interest and just start to kind of look for something that you're obviously not really seeing. Either he is with the sort of very heightened senses of being an elf, or that he knows more than you about the statue. Something has caught his eye, and he's walking over to the left side statue with like this curious mindset. And as you start to thrive through the possession of this red robed priest, there is the riches and a small little ruby, and of course some coins. The good classical 3930-ish silver. But the ruby is very nice. Then there are two like letters that have been opened. The seal has been broken. One of them seemed to have like a very royal coral seal to it, but it's difficult to see as it's been cracked, you know. But it has ribbons to it. And the other one is very simple, just wax that has sealed the letter itself. And I think that's our game for tonight. 3 hours has passed, like 3:20 even. And we have a lot of
Okay.
cool stuff ahead.
Yes. Can't wait. Awesome game tonight.
Yeah.
I had a blast.
What did you say?
I said I had a blast.
Yeah. How about you, Redix?
I think I made the right choices for traits. Yeah, that was that was. I'm not gonna say that it was almost too easy, but it almost was.
Yeah, and Assassin is deadly. I'm still thinking that the classical D4 might be a little bit too low. Like a D6 might actually be better. Why would it be a D4? You know? Sharp as it is, you could puncture and do a lot of damage. Why would a short sword or like handheld, one-handed be D6 when the... So I'll probably change it to a D6 as well. So it will be
Very
like
nice.
a D6, D8, and double D6 for two-handed weapons or something. What do you say, guys?
I was okay with my scythe. I'm fine with anything really.
Yeah, what do you feel, Redix, with the you being the one benefiting, I guess, more?
I'm not gonna say no.
Yeah. It always feels like a weird one, a D4. So we'll probably make it happen. And the character sheets worked in the end, so there's nothing I need to change about them, right?
I don't think so.
All the rubies and stuff you can put in the miscellaneous sort of other information sort of thing.
Okay.
Like you have to write out ruby and in a bracket or whatever the number of worth.
You didn't say what the worth was. You just said it was.
It
like
states
a
there
nice
in there, the roll.
It is?
It does for me at least. When you look in chat, the ruby is worth 528.
I think you have your secret rules on.
Yeah, because I don't see
Oh,
anything
yeah.
about the ruby or the jasper
Good
earlier.
to know though. Blind is actually so you don't see it at all. Okay. Yeah, the ruby is worth 528.
Ooh.
I could do this.
And how much was the jasper? And is that 528 gold or 528 silver?
It's only silver.
Ah, okay.
The jasper was a meager amount. Where were you?
And that was on the priest, right? Because I haven't searched the bandit dude yet.
Exactly. The priest had the ruby.
Okay.
On a lot of numbers.
And then the 39 silver was also the priest as well.
Yeah. Where could that have been then? Game Master Bandit? When was
the jasper was from the cottage. From the
1 hour ago.
The dead woman's pockets. I can't remember, but there was a jasper.
I'm stepping away. 14 days. Let's just re-roll it. I don't have Reroll. Oh, it became a Jasper again, so
34. Okay.
they are very cheap. Like Jasper is very, very like low end gem.
Cool.
Jasper, Citrine, Perdo, Amethyst, Aquamarine is like the low end, but
Mhm.
Aquamarine could still be like up towards like 900 silver.
Yeah, but still like 700-800. For a days of murder, that's not a bad wage.
No,
Not to mention, there's still supposedly 200 silver somewhere
there's
between these bandits.
another assailant somewhere with
Yes,
3
with a couple
at least
horses.
horses. Yeah, maybe even 4 horses. The priest, never know.
Yeah, we definitely got to go and find those horses. 2 for sure would be great for us to have. But can you imagine if we could sell some of those other horses? I'm sure we could probably get a good penny from them.
Mm-hmm. And if they're not marked or wearing anything specific, I mean, if it's saddles, you can throw them away if they're marked in a way. But otherwise, I mean, a horse is expensive.
Yeah. Yeah, and just think, I mean, if they're stolen, if one of the horses happened to be a stolen horse, maybe we could even return that for a nice penny too. Who knows?
Yeah. I mean, Storm Field isn't that far off. So you could probably live very well in the Storm Field for some weeks at least without doing a single thing and living fairly high end if you wanted to. Which is nice.
I
Or
like
buy
it.
new gear.
Exactly, like a bedroll.
Yeah. Armor. Better. Here you could actually get every weapon could go up a little bit in damage just by better smith or like better metal. And other metals will have other properties. So, I mean, you could have armor that works. We were talking about that before as well. The magic users can't wear iron, but there are other things that a armor is done with, like the classical mithril. It's not iron. And there are other sort of alloys that could be used that is not iron, strictly iron. So with a lot of money, you could definitely buy a full a full plate armor for Beth if you wanted to. But it's not going to be in armor or in iron. So there are things, possibilities.
I like possibilities. I like things. Let's do it. Yeah.
Gather all the coins.
Gather
Well,
all the coins.
Yeah, next one is next week, and we will catch each other then and there.
Yes, thanks you guys. I had a fun time.
Yeah, I'll stop the stream and have a good one, buddy boys.